I just remember him standing there and saying, because of you two now, I'm going to have to hit her.
You both had affairs. Actually, you were the first two.
I was 14 there, and that same night, he asked me to go to his hotel.
Coleen Nolan. Very few of the Life Stories guests that I've had have been in show business for the percentage of their lifetime that you have.
Yes.
From the age of 2.
From the age of 2.
What is that like, to literally have spent almost your entire life in this game?
You know, to me, growing up, it was just normal. The only time it kind of makes me go, oh, that is really weird, is because other people find it strange.
With the Nolans, you sold more than 25 million records. And in Japan, you actually sold more records than the Beatles.
Yes.
That's an extraordinary statistic.
Yeah, it was an incredible, incredible time in Japan.
You were so popular, you had to have the army protecting you when you went on the bullet train to save you from a screaming horde.
We had to stay in the hotel rooms. It was really like playing a pop star.
Amazing. Has fame made you very rich? Are you wealthy, rich, stinking rich?
Oh, God.
Bill Gates level? Where, I mean...
Bill Gates level? I wouldn't be here if I was Bill Gates level.
You're said to be the richest Nolan sister, is that right?
Yeah, I would say that. That's correct.
Do you rub it in their faces?
Oh, God, no. No, trust me, they're straight on the phone if they need a bob or two.
Probably since your singing career, you've become one of the gobbiest people on television.
Oh, says you. Yeah, Piers, I
You're very
learned from the
opinionated,
best.
you're loud, you're noisy, you're provocative. Really not my kind of thing at all. You like your role on Loose Women?
I feel very comfortable on there, and I feel like I've lived out my whole life so far on Loose Women.
You were quite shy early in your life, weren't you? And now there you are, pontificating about everything going on in the world.
I think it's because I was the youngest in the whole family, so I never got a word in. And then all of a sudden, when I was let loose, all these years of not speaking came out. And
I mean, you have been loose, to put it mildly.
All right.
On Loose Women. When your son, Shane, who's here... Evening, Shane. I think you know what's coming, don't you?
Oh, no.
When he was 16 and doing his GCSEs, you gave him a very particular incentive that you then blurted out on Loose Women to try and encourage him to do well. What was that?
Right, we'll just set this straight, because it was reported the wrong way.
Okay.
What I said to Shane was...
No, it wasn't.
Shut up. What I said to you was, if you study hard and do well, I will pay for you to go wherever you want to go for a weekend. He said, I'd like to go to Amsterdam. So I was saying this on Loose Women. They said, why do you think he wants to go to Amsterdam? And I said, well, I don't think it's to smell the tulips. That's all I said. And the next day was, I was paying for him to see a prostitute in Amsterdam, which is not what I said, but I wasn't being naive. I thought, that's why he wants to go to Amsterdam. And then it all just blew up from there. It is why he wanted to go.
I've still never been.
Well, I was going to ask that. He's never actually been.
So I ruined it for him.
Did it work? Did he do well in his GCSEs?
He did do well in his GCSEs.
So it obviously worked.
He passed them all.
You also regaled your Loose Women viewers about an experience you once had in an NCP car park.
Oh, for God's sake.
With your ex-husband.
I'm sounding like a real well, yeah. No, it's true.
I'm literally repeating what you said on national television.
I know, and I was going to try and defend myself.
You were in a car park in Birmingham.
Birmingham. We were young and we hadn't long met, and we were very into each other, and we just didn't waste the opportunity, and there was no one in the car park. Madam, please. And so, you know, we did what young people do, and luckily the windows steamed up, because when we finished, the whole car park was full.
You talk about all this on Loose Women.
Sorry, guys.
But your kids are here. Do you talk about this kind of thing in front of your kids normally?
Not the
Not
car park.
to this extent.
I've never heard the car park story in my life.
I mean, how could you not be emotional watching that. I felt emotional, but it's not my family. It's utterly heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's gut-wrenching. You know, especially when you see you all together in the full flush of healthy youth, and then you see what's happened, and all so young. Do you feel sometimes that your family, that it's just been dealt this horrific set of cards?
Yeah, you almost feel like it's a curse that's been put on you, but, you know, it's not. So many families go through this, but it's hard because, well, it's cancer. It's hard. Losing Bernie was just catastrophic in our family. You know, she was the life and soul of our family. We all pulled each other through it. And then me and my sisters had this fantastic opportunity to do the cruising show. And literally within 2 weeks of it finishing, first Anne is diagnosed again. And then literally 3 or 4 days later, Linda. And it was just bam. It was really shocking.
Anne has had a good prognosis. She's had chemo. She wasn't well enough to take part in this show, but the prognosis is good for her.
Yes.
But Linda, it's a terminal condition.
Linda's is the classic, you know, she says it's not curable, but it's treatable. But of course, you want them to say it's curable. And so every 3 months when Linda goes for her scans and her checkups, and of course, the last time she went, it spread again into her liver from her hip.
When you hear her talking about her fear of dying and what she'll leave behind, particularly powerful, I found that. As somebody who, she knows what happened to her sister.
Yeah.
She knows another sister's been going through a similar thing.
I think it was that as well, because Linda doesn't really show what she said there on that VT. She doesn't say to us.
Really?
She always is strong and always positive, and that's the first time I've heard Linda say that about, you know, she's scared of dying, she doesn't want to die, and that she was crying. And I think that's what hit me, because she always puts on this really brave attitude.
You yourself had your own scare. You found a lump in your breast.
Yeah.
You had a biopsy, you had a mammogram. It wasn't cancer. It turned out to be dense tissue and infected gland. But I would imagine, given what's happened with your sisters, you must yourself live, having had a scare, in anxiety about this.
I'm seriously looking into elective mastectomy. You know, I've spoken to a specialist so far to see, you know, I said, look, what are my chances of this? And he said incredibly high. Although we don't carry the gene, the known gene, the BRCA1 or 2, he said it will be gene-related somewhere. It'll just be a gene we haven't found.
You don't know why or where from?
We don't. He said it could be a rogue one from my dad's side, because there was cancer on my dad's side, but not so much in my mum's. He just doesn't think it's just bad luck that 3 sisters have got it. So, obviously, yeah, you sit there and think, do I just get rid of these now? Am I just waiting for this to happen?
But that's a huge thing to do, isn't it? What I've always been struck by the Nolans is you are a bunch of battlers. You fight for your lives, you fight for your corners.
Yeah, we do. I think that comes from being from such a massive family as well. If one of us is weak or being picked on, the others come like lionesses to fight for you, you know.
Linda and Anne both finished chemotherapy. They're celebrated by ringing the bell at the Blackpool Victoria Hospital, where they're both being treated, and they both posted videos.
I think people who haven't been through it think, how can ringing a bell bring that much emotion? But I remember when they first walked in, the first thing they said was, I can't wait to ring the bell, even though it was months away, you know. So
Let's talk about Bernie. In Bernie's case, it was a huge shock to all of you. It came out of nowhere.
Bernie would not accept any other scenario except she was going to live. Whatever they said, she was going to live. And I guess she convinced us of that as well. I'll never, ever forget her. And we talk about her as if she's still here. And it still does feel that she's a massive part of our family, because whatever we do, Bernie is mentioned. Sometimes, sadly, because everything we do, we go, Bernie would love this. She was just so full of life, and it was hard.
You were born Coleen Patricia Nolan in Blackpool, Lancashire, on the 12th of March, 1965. You're the youngest of 8 children, 6 girls and 2 boys, born to singing duo Tommy and Maureen. There were 10 of you packed into a small Blackpool house sharing one bathroom. How did that work?
Do you know, I never saw my brothers in that bathroom.
Really?
Ever.
Well, that's boys. They don't wash.
Apparently I found out years later that they used to go to the pub on the corner because it had a shower and a toilet. So my mum would send the boys over there because they couldn't get in there with
That
six
still leaves
girls.
8 of you to you.
I know. And I was the youngest. I got the last in.
You were in the grime for the first few years. What was your first bed, do you remember?
When I was first brought home from hospital, they took me in a drawer. Can you believe that? That's shocking. And then I said to my mother...
I've got to ask, why were you in a drawer?
Because there was no room for a cot and they didn't have money to buy another cot, and I was very much an accident, I think.
I can't even imagine 8 kids in that
No,
kind of...
we did have so much awe for my mother now that I have my own children. Well, she had 8 kids and she never stopped any of us having friends round either, or sleepovers.
Were there other drawers then, or...?
Yeah, literally, there'd just be bodies on the floor. Literally, yeah.
It was a happy childhood in the house.
Yes, very much so. From my point of view, you know, Christmases were so special, even though they had no money.
And you felt loved by both your parents?
Yes, very much so. Actually, I did.
The whole family performed in clubs as the Singing Nolans, working men's clubs, I mean, fights breaking out, boozing everywhere, and there's you, a young kid.
I know.
What was that experience like?
Very strange looking back on it now. You know, I remember vividly one night Bernie singing Where Is Love, you know, from Oliver, just on her own on the stage, and she must have only been about 7 at the time. And a fight broke out, and she carried on singing Where Is Love as these glasses were flying past her head. And it's just strange because, you know, you'd have people going, keep singing, keep singing. You know, if that was my kid, I'd be on there. But it's just the way it was.
What did your school friends make of this unconventional life?
Well, here's the thing, school friends, I haven't really got any that I'm still in touch with because I wasn't really there.
Did you take exams and things or not? None? You haven't got any qualifications?
All right. Very qualified in other areas, Piers.
Your mother sounds a remarkable woman. I mean, to keep all this going.
My mum worked with us as well, you know, and we'd get home 3 or 4 in the morning and then she'd have all these kids to get up for school.
And what was she like as a personality?
She was so laid back. She's a real Irish mum. Always dinner on the table, and she was just a great mum, you know.
It must have been very tough when Anne's book came out and these revelations appeared. Had she given you any forewarning about what she was going to be saying?
Yeah, so Anne told me quite a while before the actual book came out about the abuse. It definitely was a few years before because my mum was still alive. I mean, shocking. You know, not 1 minute did I not believe her, but it was very, very difficult to take in because of all the sides I saw of my dad. I saw the aggression, I saw the drunk in him, but I never, ever, ever experienced that side or even felt awkward on that side of things. So it's really hard for me. And then that makes it difficult for me to go, oh yeah, I loved my dad, and then I feel guilty again. Because I think, well, I shouldn't, because he did that to my sister. But it's really difficult.
You must have all, I guess, talked a lot about this since Anne wrote the book. Was it only Anne that suffered that kind of abuse from him, as far as you're aware?
As far as I'm aware, and it definitely wasn't me. And this will probably shock people, that after the news sank in, I actually cried. Because there was an element of thinking, oh, did he not love me? And then that made me sad because it made me think that's what children feel, that is to do with love, and it's nothing to do with love. So it was all trying to get through all that emotional, mental
because he
process.
Hadn't abused you,
because he hadn't. I was like, oh, he must have loved Dan more. And then I felt revolted by myself, you know, even thinking that, because I can't think of anything worse than that. But there was this kid element going, oh, he mustn't have loved me.
If you had to rethink your whole view of your father...
It makes it very difficult to celebrate my father. My issue with my dad was the drink. I hated him when he was drunk. I hated him. And now, because of him, have a terrible relationship with drink.
You do?
Yeah, I'm very intolerant of drunks.
Your father was still alive when Anne told you about what he'd done, but you decided not to confront him.
Well, Anne didn't want us to. I think the thing for Anne was she didn't want to destroy my mum's life.
Yeah.
Because we don't know if my mum knew. And if she did, that would have ruined her relationship with us. And if she didn't, it would destroy her, thinking that
And none of you wanted to have that.
We just didn't want to upset my mum and his sisters, who we all loved. Our aunties were all still alive. And just felt it would just destroy so many lives.
Did you ever see him physically attack your mother?
I remember having that feeling in my stomach of, oh, it's nearly 11 o'clock or whatever, and my dad's going to be coming in. And the thing is, he wasn't a screaming, shouting drunk. He was very quiet. And he just goaded my mother. And my mum, with her Irish fiery temper, of course, I'd be sitting there going, please ignore him, please don't say anything. But of course, she'd get to boiling point. And yeah, I saw him hit her and kick her.
He attacked you once, and Linda and Bernie.
The door flew open. And I just remember him standing there and saying, because of you two now, I'm going to have to hit her. And I got the beating of my life.
And how old were you?
I think I was probably about 5, 6.
That's horrific.
Yeah, I just remember lying there at that age. And I still have this in me of, that was just so unjust. That was so unfair. I hate things that are unjust.
When he died in 1998, how did you feel, given what you had discovered?
Sad. He's still my dad. And I still loved him. And that's the only thing I kind of felt mixed up about, because I loved him. I just didn't like him drunk.
Your mum, Maureen, suffered from Alzheimer's for many years towards the end of her life. Very difficult. She went into a home and became very aggressive with the care workers, but she'd never been with any of you.
No. She turned into this woman that was so hard to watch. And then the more she lost recognition of everything, she was just angry.
Did she know who you were by the end?
We used to go and visit her every single day. And I used to dread it, I'll be honest. And she hadn't spoken to us, hadn't recognised, but sometimes she had a glimmer. And I lay on the bed with her one time, and I just lay down on the bed, and she just looked at me and opened her eyes, and she went, I love you. And then she was gone again. And it was like a... And it was just a moment, the fact we were that close, and she just said, I love you. And I just said, I love you too. And that was the last time she spoke.
You've been a TV presenter for 20 years.
God, have I?
There's a huge pressure on, particularly female presenters, I think, about how they look. How do you feel about the way older women are treated in television? It's a big debate at the moment.
I don't think it's very fair. You know, I was told myself I would never be in primetime telly because of the way I am.
Who told you that?
Just some executive person. They just said, you know, great for daytime. If you could have a gastric band, you'd get more chance in...
Are you serious?
...in primetime telly.
So it was a male executive?
Yeah.
And he told you to have a gastric band?
Yeah, he told me I was too fat to be in primetime.
How did you respond?
Am I allowed to swear on
Yes.
this show?
Or after the watershed?
I basically told him to piss off, and I said, I can lose weight, but you're stuck with that face and that attitude. Yes.
Have you had any work or not?
I'm all for it if you want it, absolutely, and it makes you feel better, but I'm just worried that we are all turning into clones of each other.
Totally agree.
Everybody looks
I can't stand it. Honestly, can't stand it.
You know, and if I've got lines, it's because I've laughed and I've cried and it's life.
Is there a nice multi-millionaire farmer out there, do you think?
I'm still looking, Piers. Seriously, round every corner.
I understand you're quite active on the online dating front.
Well, no, this is... Whoa. Just because I swiped left or whatever you did. Loose Women put me on that last week and said after the show you can delete them now. It was just for the show. Well, I've been on them all week, Piers.
We did find one of your profiles. Let's take a look.
No, you didn't. Oh, yeah.
Dipping my toe in online dating waters.
My daughter is now cringing beyond cringe.
They know who you are, so do you get people...
Yeah, well, this is what's happening. Oh, I bet you're in the mood for dancing. Or, are you really a loose woman? Swipe.
What would it take to get you to go the other way?
I love a sense of humour. It's people that make me laugh I find so attractive.
Let's come to Shane.
OK.
You both had affairs in your marriage, and actually you were the first to. Why did you have the affair?
It's really difficult because I don't want to sit here and condone that I had an affair, because I don't condone it. I just had Jake. Shane was very successful, doing Grease in Manchester. Gorgeous girls all over him. I felt very unsexy, boring, just everything. And he wasn't really making me feel any different. I went and did a summer season out the blue for my sisters. And I met somebody there, and it was just like a holiday romance. It was just all of a sudden somebody...
He was a keyboard player.
Yeah. You could tell when I walked in that he fancied me. And I hadn't felt that for ages. And all of a sudden I felt this attractive woman again.
Shane, you've been very happy together for a long time, for years.
Really, really happy, yeah. Absolutely besotted.
When it reached that point, did he try and then repair things with you?
Yeah, for a good year or two, I would say it was the best we'd ever been, because I realised what I'd almost jeopardised and how much I didn't want to jeopardise it. And he realised that he needed to step up to the plate, and it was fantastic.
But then it turned out he then had an affair.
Yeah.
How did you find that out?
I'd had my suspicions for a while, you know, your intuition, he was just different. Eventually found out on a computer that had been recording our calls that I didn't know had been recording them. It said, you've got 33 missed calls. I pressed this button, and it was 32 of them were just rubbish. And then Shane talking to the girl, and that's...
And when you confronted him, what did he say?
There was nothing he could say, really. He couldn't lie, so he admitted it. And I thought maybe this was his moment to screw up, and now we'll get over it again. But we didn't. He didn't. He carried it on.
I mean, the way you tell it, I mean, is it fair to categorise it as bad as each other or not?
No, we both absolutely cocked up, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, both
both
may be equally responsible in the end.
Absolutely. I think the only difference is that when I cocked up and it was done and his carried on, maybe that's how it needed to be, and we've come out of it great. And we've got 2 boys, and he's got 3 beautiful children now with Christy, who he married. It's all worked out for the best.
You split from your second husband, Ray, in 2018. What in the end, went wrong there?
I think when me and Ray met, it was all very whirlwind. It was all very intense straight away. And it was all marvellous for so many years. And I think Kira very much was the glue that held us together. I remember all of a sudden thinking, I don't know what we've got to talk about. The thing we had in common doesn't really need us now. And yeah, it was just that thing of growing apart.
Not many parents get a text from their daughter agreeing with the split, but your daughter was pretty certain that she felt that was the right thing for both of you.
Because it'd been going on for 2 or 3 years of me questioning it. And then one night she said, look, I'm sick of it. I think you should leave. But if you stay, then please shut up talking about it, because he's my dad. You know, I love you both.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was really... And I went to bed and thought, she's right.
You're now good friends?
Yes.
Really, you're where you were before?
Yeah. I've said to him, I think maybe we should have always just been friends. We get on great as friends.
Given your experience with men, do you have an idea now of the kind of man that would make you happy?
I feel like I've been in relationships since I was 15, you know. I've had 2 marriages. I've never had a time on my own, really. I am genuinely loving it. However, I do realise that all my kids have got their lives of their own, and they are eventually going to move out. I guess it's company, really. If I'm going to meet someone, I'm hoping it will be a friend of a friend.
Would they need to be tall?
Tall, definitely.
Dark?
No, I'm not that fussy. Tall and a pulse, that's all they need.
In your teens, you appeared on Top of the Pops several times with Jimmy Savile. I mean, that is creepy now to look at. You were 14 years old.
I know.
And what we now know about Jimmy Savile, obviously, a despicable paedophile monster. That must give you the shudders when you look at it, does it?
You know, when it came out about Jimmy, I wasn't in any way shocked thinking about it. I mean, I was 14 there, and that same night, he asked me to go to his hotel.
Really?
Yeah, he said he had a suite in a hotel and I should go up and see it and he'd look after me. And
He knew you were 14.
Yeah.
What did you feel about that?
Well, at the
At the
time, I
time.
just thought, you dirty old man. As if I'm going to go up there, I wouldn't do it anyway. And I've got 4 sisters on the stage that would have beaten the crap out of him.
When you heard what he'd done to so many...
Oh, absolutely horrendous. But like I said, in some ways not surprising, because he was always very touchy-feely.
I mean, siblings, they fall out occasionally, right?
Yeah.
I mean, are you glad that, despite all the rocky stuff, you've now reached this point when it would seem from the outside you're all as close, perhaps, as you've ever been?
Life's tragedies actually have just brought us closer and made us go, you know what, life's too short, really. And when one of us is ill or one of us is in pain, it does make you realise how much you love them.
But events have conspired in a very serious and awful way to make you, perhaps all of you, realise what's really important.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a cliche, but it's
true.
real.
It is. It's really true.
When you're back on stage with them, your sisters, is that the happiest you ever are? I mean, outside of the kids, obviously, but is that the happiest you ever are when you're actually singing? I'm in the mood for dancing for a crowd somewhere.
I don't think there's any kind of adrenaline rush like that, like performing live.
I mean, that bit when you're all backstage
Yeah.
and there's a packed crowd and the curtain goes up,
Yeah.
they all erupt.
Yeah.
I mean, better than sex? Or...
Well, I remember it better than sex.
Your sister there said that you're the one that still makes them all laugh. Is that the way you see your role in the family, the kind of the cheerleader, if you like, getting everyone laughing?
I think so. I think it's because it's the only way I can deal with stuff, you know. So for all crying, I have to end it on a funny, because crying just wears me out. You know, being sad is so wearing, and so I have to find something funny.
If you could choose one moment of your entire life, that if I had the power to replay it now, you could relive it, what would you choose?
Of my entire life.
Yeah, away from the kids again.
The 2009 reunion tour.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was the first show you did?
I think it was Nottingham. And the screens opened and this cheer went up to the point where we all glanced at each other and we thought either someone else had come on or one of the dancers' costumes had come off because we just couldn't believe it was for us. Oh, it was just incredible.
And is the moment you do I'm in the mood for dancing, is that still the moment the whole thing explodes?
Yeah, it's the one that everybody waits for. But obviously, for me, I'm in the mood for dancing is Bernie.
Yeah.
So now Bernie's not here, they nominated me to sing it. And it's hard, you know. She was the best singer in the group, certainly at that song. So it's bittersweet, really. And I always want to say to people, it will never sound like it did with Bernie, but we can't not sing it because it's what everybody expects.
If she'd be watching this interview, what would she say to you afterwards, do you think?
I think she'd be really proud, and then she'd go, why the bloody hell hasn't he asked me to do it yet? I'm much more interested.
Oh, would that be all your sisters would say that?
That'd be all my sisters.
How would you like to be remembered if you could script your own headline the day after you leave us? What would you like to be remembered as?
Oh, I hate these questions. What would I like to be remembered as? I'd like to be remembered as honest and funny. And I can't think of anything. I hate saying things about myself. I don't know.
Well, they're not too bad.
I don't know.
Good things.
And kind, I think. You know, when
Honest,
people...
funny and kind is a pretty good legacy for everyone.
Yeah, I hope so. They were... That's what I'd like.
Coleen, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been so much fun. I've loved it. You're actually really nice.
Coleen Nolan, everybody.